Welcome to the course Unix and Shell Programming. Myself, S. Nagmalikraj, Assistant Professor from CSE Department, Vignan Institute of Information Technology. Today my lecture is from Unit 1. While coming to the contents of Unit 1, we can see in two parts. In first part is brief history of Unix and what are the basic commands of Unix and how command substitution, which is helpful in scripting language, and how we can execute the multiple commands. While coming to second part is everything about files related. How the hierarchy of file system exists in the Unix operating system and what are the permissions for the file and about inodes. This is all about in Unit 1. So today our lecture is brief history of Unix. In this lecture the topics are why Unix, and we can see the history of the Unix and features of Unix, and we can see the summary and small assignments. While coming to this lecture outcomes, can students able to know the brief history of Unix and what is the functionality of Unix operating system with all its features. So first of all, why Unix? So Unix is an operating system that designed to access the computer by a number of programmers at the same time. Hence, Unix is known as a multi-user operating system. So first, Unix, we are saying Unix as an operating system. Let us see what is about operating system. Operating system is a set of programs that acts as an interface between user and computer system. So types of OS, single user operating system. Example, MS-DOS. While coming to multi-user operating system, where multiple users can access the system at a time. That is known as multi-user operating system. Example, MS Windows, Linux, Unix, etc. So Unix is a multi-user operating system. Now, today we can see in so many companies are powered by Unix or Unix flavors, so many are there. For example, Linux. So now let us see what are the companies that are powered by Unix environment or Linux environment. So here some of the companies in Oracle, they are using the Oracle Linux, and next Novell company, next Red Hat, next Google. In Google everything, Google servers are powered by Linux, and Android is also powered by Linux, including Chrome operating system is also powered by Linux. So lot of people that know nothing about Linux, but all the people are using Linux. Next IBM company, next Facebook, Amazon, Dell company. So in Dell also, if you can buy a Dell laptop with Ubuntu pre-installed. Next Samsung. In Samsung it improves mobile technology and it's doing it through Linux only. Like that many companies we can see which are powered by Linux. So why all companies are preferring Linux means, so Unix is a good choice to use on your workstations and servers, and development of the internet. Officially licensed Unix was used by so many vendors. In recent years, smartphones, tablets, and computer running versions of variants of Unix. Next, major internet players like Amazon, Google, and Netflix, Facebook, Twitter. So in government sectors, educationals, and military, everywhere. In banking sectors also, they were using the all operating systems are powered by Linux only. Why means it has the power to keep the stability even with excessive information. This is the major advantage of this operating system. Not only this, another one element is there, networking element, networking capability element. In previous, in compared to other operating systems, they need separate software for the networking capability element. Whereas in Unix operating system, that software it contains default software of networking capability. So that's why we need Unix. Now let us see the brief history of Unix. Unix development was started in the 1969 at Bell Laboratories in the New Jersey, aimed for the multi-user and time-sharing operating system. Starting it was called as Multics. Multics is nothing but multiplexed information and computing system. So Multics, starting it was called as Multics, so but it was failed. Later on, Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie again rewrite an operating system and smaller mission. This one known as Unix, not UNIX, now it is called as UNICS. is nothing but uniplexed information and computing service. So in 1970, this Unix is replaced with Unix. So it takes place in 1970. So this UNICS is replaced with Unix in 1970. Later on, Unix components were later rewritten in C. So here, in 1970, this Unix is replaced with Unix. In that, one of the component, Unix component, that is kernel. So starting this component, Unix component kernel, is rewritten in assembly language. So it is not portability feature. Whereas in 1973, this component, this Unix operating system component kernel was rewritten in high level language, that is C. Then the Unix operating system becomes portable operating system. So before that, what happens means, this component, kernel component, was written in assembly language, so it is not portable operating system. Later on, in 1973, that kernel component is rewritten in high level language C, so it becomes portable operating system. So Unix is the oldest operating system. Originally, Bell Labs distributed Unix along with the source code. Here, this is very important one. So originally, Bell Labs distributed Unix along with source code. With that, what happened means, anybody could modify and customize according to their need. So they can change their OS according to their need, because they give an entire source code also. So by that, several flavors of Unix came into existence in the market. Let us see what are the flavors that are. Solaris, HPUX, IRIX, X, Unixware, and Linux. Why so many flavors came means, because of Bell Labs distributed Unix along with the source code. For that reason, so many flavors today in market we are using. Solaris, HPUX, IRIX, Unixware, and Linux. This is all about history of Unix. Now, while coming to Unix features, the popularity of the Unix is due to the simplicity of its design and functioning. In this, first feature, let us see, multi-user capability. Multi-user capability. In multi-user capability, so multiple users can access the system at a time. Here, assume there are total 6 users, user 1, user 2, user 3, 4, 5, 6. So simultaneously, or they are performing that task at a time with this computing system. That means it allows multiple users to access the system. This is known as multi-user capability. Next feature is time sharing. So each job is executed in the stipulated time slice. For example, here present CPU is executing the job of user 5. So after completion of the time slice, then CPU will execute the job of user 6. After completion of this time slice, it goes to the user 1, and after that user 2, and user 3, and user 4. Again cycle repeats, again it comes to the user 5. Like that, in cyclic fashion, it allocates the time slices to each and every job of the particular users. This is about time sharing. Now, command interpreter. So while coming to command interpreter, already we know this kernel is the one of the component of the Unix operating system, and next to the kernel, this shell is another component. This shell is nothing but command interpreter. So where user can interact with the kernel means, that is through shell. So in shell, user can type its own commands, type the commands, that shell interprets those commands and gives output to the user. So shell acts as a command interpreter in Unix operating system. So next feature is portability. Next feature is portability. In portability, we seen the component of kernel, when this is rewritten in C language, then this portability feature is occurred in the Unix operating system. That means write once, executes anywhere. So we can run anywhere. So that is the portability feature. And multitasking. So while coming to multitasking, user can execute multiple tasks at a time. So here processing time will divide into each and every task, and every task will executed in simultaneously. That means user can run one program in background process, and user can type or create another program in the foreground. That means multiple tasks at a time user can perform. So that is known as multitasking. While coming to hierarchical file system, in Unix, everything is like in hierarchical. For example, here highest level is this one slash symbol, there is nothing but root. Under this root, next level directories are there, and next level directories are there. Here, directories is nothing but special files. It may contain subdirectories or another files. Next, so this looks like a tree structure. So in Unix, file system is in hierarchical structure or tree-like structure. So before going to remaining features, let us have a look on what we discussed previous features. Again, multi-user capability. So multiple users can share the system at a time. Again, what is time sharing means? So giving a time limit for each job. While coming to command interpreter, so shell interprets or shell executes the command which was typed by the user. And what is the portability means? A piece of software moves from one hardware program to another hardware platform. And multitasking, user can do many jobs at once. And hierarchical file system, so the Unix file system has a hierarchical file system or tree-like structure with its highest level directory called root. Okay, now let us see remaining features. Simple command structure. In Unix, everything is in simple command structure. That means very easy to remember, easy to understand. For example, assume one command, ls. If you enter, it will list all the files or directories present in the directory. So ls is nothing but listing. So by name itself, we can say what is the purpose of this command. Here in command line, in simple command structure, all commands are in lowercase. So assume another command rm. Rm is nothing but remove. So its name itself, it indicates it will remove something. It is nothing but it removes the files. Assume another command rmdir. rmdir is nothing but remove directory. It removes the directories. So it removes the files, it removes the directories. So it contains simple command structure. By name itself, we can understand easily what is the purpose of that command. ls, rm means remove, rmdir means remove directory, cp means copy, mv means move, like that so many commands are there. So this is all about simple command structure. While coming to next feature, file security protection. In this file security protection, for every file, one user is there, one group is there, one others is there, or outside the world. So for everything, for user or for group, for others, you have three permissions. One is read permission and write permission and execute permission. Like that, for group also they have three permissions, read, write and execute. Like others also, read, write, execute. So the owner of that file has only right which permission to give. For example, if owner has given only read permission to group, then group no right or no permission to update or to execute. Like others also, to manipulate or what are the permissions to give is only under the owner of the file. For example, if they given write permission to others, that means they can update that file. If there is no execute permission, means others, there is no right to execute that specific file. Like that, file security protection is there with the help of this one. So owner of the file only can assign the permissions to the user or group or others. Next, tools and utilities. In tools and utilities, already we've seen so many utilities are there. Utilities are nothing but commands, what we call commands, which are written in lower case. Commands is nothing but small executable files. So here so many commands are there. Text processing commands are there. Process utilities are there. Disk related utilities are there. And home keeping utilities are there. So all commands are grouped into some categories. So many utilities are there. So commands is nothing but small executable files. Next, shell and shell programming. We already seen the components. One component is kernel. After that kernel, the next level component is shell. So it's nothing but command line interpreter. Shell programming is nothing but if we write group of files into, we can convert the group of commands into one program. So if rather than executing the individual commands, we can group them into one file. That is nothing but shell programming. So reusability, that means we can execute at any time. In that program, 6 commands are there. At a time, we can execute those 6 commands. So that is the use of shell programming. Another feature is online documentation. Online documentation is nothing but online documentation. So if user wants what is the LS, is there any options are there, how we can use that LS? That means if we want to detailed about the specific command, they can use that man. Man is nothing but manual. So this is the online documentation. So if user want to know any specific command and what are the options present in that command and what are the examples, so everything, some documentation all about that command. For example, man space ls, so ls is nothing but command, enter. Now what is the output here? It gives syntax, and completely definition and options, what are the options with that command, and some examples. Like that, every all information related to that command will display with this manual. This is nothing but online documentation. For example, man space cp command. So regarding that cp, it will display definition, syntax, and what are the options and examples. So this is very helpful to the users. So this is one of the good feature in the Unix operating system. So this is all about Unix features. I will come to summary. We discussed what is the Unix. This is nothing but Unix is an operating system which supports multiple users can access the system at a time. Is nothing but multi-user operating system. And next we seen already history of the Unix. So starting it was Multics. Next later on it was called as UNCS Unix. Later on it was renamed with UNIX Unix. And in 1973 that kernel part of the Unix component is rewritten in C, then portability feature we got. So everything we discussed in the history of the Unix. Next, we seen the features of Unix also, multi-user, time sharing, multitasking, command line interpreter, online documentations like that. So many features also we discussed. While coming to some assignments, let us see there. What are the different types of shells available? So nearly there are 3 to 4 types of shells are there. One is C shell, Bourne shell, Korn shell, like that. Some shell types are there. While coming to the second question, in a typical Unix environment, how many kernels and shells are available? Here the question is, in Unix environment, how many kernels and shells are available? So whatever the Unix environment, the kernel is only one kernel is present, and shells, it contains many shells. Already we seen in the previous question, it may be C shell, Korn shell, or bash shells, but kernel is only one kernel. So in separate compiler is required for executing a shell programming? Means no, we no need any separate compiler, because in Unix programming, shell itself command interpreter. So whatever the command you type in that shell, it only interprets and executes, and it will send the output to the back to the user. So is separate compiler required for executing a shell program? Is no need of any separate compiler. Next, describe the silent features of Unix operating system. Already we seen in features of Unix operating system, more than 10 features are there. So all together, multi-user, multitasking, time sharing, everything we can address here, features of Unix operating system. And discuss the history of the Unix operating system. Here we have to come from what is the Unix and what is about operating system, what are the types of operating systems. By that we can say Unix is a multi-user operating system. And also we have to stress the history means, so starting it was Multics, later on it was next in 1970 it was replaced with Unix. In 1973 the kernel component of the Unix was rewritten in C language. Like that brief history we have to present in this. In next lecture, we are going to discuss about the structure of the Unix, how many components are present in the Unix, and some basic commands of the Unix operating system. Thank you.